Starting lineups from the Hilltop. Valeria Vasquez Gomez, 6-year outside hitter out of Puerto Rico, had a team-leading 14 digs on Wednesday. Tori Stafford also a huge threat for Pitt, the ACC leader with 4.38 kills per set. Shifting over to the homestanding Mustangs, Nia Chimay, we just saw her presented with her 1,000th career kill commemorative ball around her. Celia Cullen is the quarterback of this offense, 21 assists on Wednesday, though, the lowest total of the season for her. Maya Tabron also needs to get things going against the Panthers. Another player who is held to a 0-0-0 hitting percentage on Wednesday. Panthers able to hold both Tabron and Chimay to that number in the first of 2 matchups this week. Both coaches talked to us about the chess match. You go from playing each other on Wednesday in Pittsburgh, playing on Saturday in Dallas, short turnaround against the same opponents. What do you expect to see as far as changes are concerned on both sides?
You know, game 2 is all about who can learn from their mistakes from that first set. So I'm interested to see how the lineups and the matchups go tonight, as we saw SMU get stuck in a few rotations against Pitt. They had some long service runs, so I think maybe we'll see starting in a different rotation or try to put another blocker in to try to shut down Babcock. So I think both coaches are going to try to outsmart one another tonight.
Dan Fisher, you just saw him, the leader of this Pitt program in his 12th season. Sam Erger on the SMU side in her 3rd year for the Mustangs. Last year's American Athletic Conference Coach of the Year, and the heights she has taken this program. Number 15 in the country right now, highest ranking in SMU history.
And she just wants to keep going up and up, and with the win over #1 Pitt right now, that would definitely help them. And we saw them play phenomenal volleyball against a #2 Nebraska at the time here early in the season. So I'm sure they're bringing their best tonight, but Pitt is looking really good, so it's going to be a challenge.
And with that high ranking, with the record, comes the crowd. The way that people flowed into Moody as soon as the gates opened today. Haven't seen that very much in Mustang program history. And SMU gets the first point with Natalie Foster at the service line.
This is a first home game in a long time for SMU. They haven't been here in about 5 matches, so they feel comfortable and excited to be back at home and have the fans on their side.
Long on service from Foster. Yeah, 28 days between home matches. The last time SMU was here, September 14th, in a win over the Houston Cougars.
I'm sure they had to bring out the brooms from all the dust that might have been collecting, but the Terraflex is looking good, and they're excited to be back on the blue Dallas printed floor.
Here's Vasquez Gomez. To the back row for Chimay. All she can do is send it over. Free ball to the right side for Olivia Babcock. Babcock, a team-leading 18 kills on Wednesday. That was just 1 shy of her season best, which came back on September 20th. Had 19 against East Carolina.
And if you haven't seen Babcock play in person, you need to get down here to Moody immediately. She is swinging high and hard already. She just has a different power on that ball, and it wasn't even a 100% swing.
Overpass, actually, Tori Stafford, not so much an overpass, just having to get the ball over in 3 hits. SMU having a lot of trouble. And Stafford say, I will happily take advantage of that.
I mean, speaking of power, shoot, that's all what Pitt is about. They are playing a power game. Swing high and hit hard. Good things are going to happen.
Mustangs trying to get in rhythm. Started strong in each of the first 3 sets on Wednesday before Pitt took control. 3-1 Panther advantage so far. Quick set to Bree Kelly. Back close to home. Maya Tabron. Just 5 kills for her on Wednesday. Out to a good start in this one. Leads us to our keys to the game, Chanel.
It's hard to say what Pitt has to fix because they're playing almost perfect, but they're going to keep playing Pitt volleyball, always finding ways to improve, and they want to start strong, especially in Moody. This is not their home, so they have to make sure they get some momentum on their side.
For SMU, learning from their mistakes of Wednesday, a big deal. And there's that Pitt, Wall, Kelly, and Babcock.
SMU was looking to clean up serve and pass. Pitt again went on several service runs, getting them stuck in few rotations, but they were also aced 10 times in 3 sets, so they got to pull it off the net, and they also have to cover really well because look at that block and the power coming right back off of it.
Kelly had 6 blocks on Wednesday to lead the Panthers. Now here's Kat Flood, grad student coming back to make another run and hopefully lead the Panthers to a national championship after falling just short the past 3 seasons. Colin to Tabron. Rachel Fairbanks unable to dig that one out. Point to the Ponies. SMU is within 1.
SMU wanting to start strong, down by 1, but they have to find momentum early in this match and pull away because they know Pitt, they are finishers. They are going to end out a match clean and almost perfect. So if you can put them down as many points as possible at the beginning, you're putting yourself in a much better position.
Long from Tabron. Talked about SMU's strong start in each set on Wednesday in Pittsburgh. Mustangs got up 8-6. in the first set. Then Pitt went on a 8-0 run. Their lead got as big as 9 a couple of times in that opener.
And one of those reasons why is because of Babcock's top spin serve right here. She had 3 aces in a row, and she is confident when she goes back to that line. She's not just trying to get it in. She's trying to rip your head off.
Okemore unable to get it past Ryla Jones and Rachel Fairbanks. 6-3 Pittsburgh. Overpass. You cannot do that against the #1 team in the country.
You can't give away any easy points because they're going to capitalize immediately. If you're going to give them a free token, well, you better find another way to score because they're going to 100% take whatever you give them. So these passers have to find a way to give a little bit on that platform, keep it high off the net.
Points given right back to the Mustangs on the service error. That's already 3 of those for Pittsburgh.
You know, Coach Fisher talked about how he wants his team to be aggressive serving. Not just great passers, but more like the men's game, which he played himself and also coached the men's. He's teaching them to be powerful at the net, but also on the service line.
Correction there, 3rd overall on the match for both teams. 2 of them for SMU. That was the first service error for the Panthers. Olivia Babcock able to knock it down. Pitt's lead is back to 4.
Babcock taking huge rips out of the back court. If you can find a way to take her out of the offense, then you're able to minimize what players you need to focus on blocking.
Foster able to clean it up for SMU, the senior out of Michigan. Top 5 in the conference in hitting percentage at .407.
Speaking of free points, right here, number 11, she sees a tight ball, uses her height, goes up, and puts it straight to the floor so her team can go back and try to get on a run here.
Here's Nia Chimay, transfer from Wyoming in her 2nd season at SMU. Over to Vasquez Gomez. Her first kill.
Valeria Vasquez Gomez, one of those returners. She's in her 6th season. She has had a bitter taste in her mouth for so long after going 3 years in a row, making it to the Final Four, but not getting the gold in the end. So she is here, and she's fighting for blood, looking to make it all the way this 2024 season.
And we go from that experienced player to the freshman Dylan Griffin, who's a bit long in her service. Pulls Mustangs back within 3. And Jams Wheeler will head to the line. Last year, a first-team all-conference selection in the American, rounding out her volleyball career in the ACC. From the back row, it's Babcock. That was a theme in our conversation with Coach Erger earlier this week, how dangerous Babcock is from that back row.
She is a lethal weapon, and you have to find a way to make sure she is not their leading point scorer, because if she gets on a roll, she doesn't stop. So how do you do that? You got to tip the ball on her, make her get on the floor, force the outside. Hopefully they're not getting in-system digs, so you're able to move your block over on the pin really early.
Cullen with the pass to Foster. Another chance, this time to Tabron. Tipped and a point for SMU. Got it to go off fingers.
SMU can't just win with tips, though. They have to swing high and hard over this Pitt block. And Tabron, also such an experienced player coming over from Colorado, knows that off the high fingertips is going to score 99% of the time.
Natalie Foster at the line, and they take her off in a hurry. Foster and Babcock are tied for the conference lead with 37 aces apiece. Mustangs hate to only have one opportunity with her in this rotation.
Yep, both teams have an advantage when they are behind the service line. It's a high-risk, high-reward serve, though. So whether they are capable of going on long runs by getting it in, or they might miss in the net or out of bounds on the very first one. You never know.
Here's Nadie Okamore getting in on the action. The transfer from Florida.
Okamore was held to just a 200 hitting percentage, so they're looking to get their middles involved early tonight, especially when they're in system. If they can get a perfect pass off the serve when Babcock isn't back there ripping balls, they have to get their middles involved.
Tori Stafford denied. Back to the other side for Babcock. Just wide of the line.
Frazier sitting right there with her left foot on the line, eyeing the ref down, saying, "Oh yeah, that was definitely out." But we might see a challenge here.
Dan Fisher talking things over with Shannon Knutson. Ultimately not flashing that green challenge card, leaving the point with SMU.
Players for Pitt weren't convincing enough for Fisher to wave that green card in the air, so he put it right back down on the table.
First attack error for Babcock, and SMU repays the favor with a service error. Kat Flood will check back in for Pittsburgh to go back to the service line. Another grad student on this roster, came back for another shot at the national championship.
You know, there's no question for these players to come back after being a Panther for so long, because they want to end their season on the highest note possible. And of course, you see this team, of course they have a great chance of doing that. They're doing amazing so far. Whoa.
Quick set to Ryla Jones.
Ryla Jones, just a freshman, already making such a big impact. She's so long, only has one blocker on her, easily finding the court right in front of James Wheeler.
Jones has been part of the Team USA National Development Program for the last 5 years, now in her first semester on the Pitt campus. Tabron, her fourth kill to lead all players in this match.
Tabron looking really good so far. You got a good in-system pass, a little tight for Cullen, but Okamore able to still approach, pulling that middle, and she has a little bit of space, finds it, and scores for SMU.
Back to the line. Its lead 13-10, now 14-10. Fourth service error for SMU.
And there's a balance of, you know, serving tough, but also getting it in, especially when you're down 4 points halfway through the set. You have to find a little more consistency over going for power.
Babcock's powerful serve. Wheeler gets it to Cullen and on to Okamore. Mustangs thought they had the point, but called wide. And the Panthers are the first to 15. Sam Erger heads back to the bench, but first she will call for the challenge in Moody.
There is no patent. Could you patent the sun?
As Mustangs, we don't just challenge expectations.
We shatter them.
It's a feeling we all share, an unbridled drive that moves us.
To rival the unrivaled.
To expect the unexpected.
And to outdo ourselves again and again and again.
We live to shake the ground beneath our feet. To make the improbable dream a right now reality.
Because we can.
And because we must.
This is the ACC, where greatness isn't just a goal, it's our relentless pursuit.
Well, there you go.
Where elite coaches and preeminent players constantly strive to redefine what's possible. Here, greatness knows no limits. Here, achievements speak louder than words, and legacies are cemented. This is the ACC, accomplished greatness.
As we were heading to break, Sam Erger pulled out the challenge card, and she was successful. This has been reversed. Now a point to the Mustangs.
And this is such a close call. You got to be grateful for these cameras because they can catch it in slow motion. Any part of the volleyball that is hitting that white line, the ball is in.
So we went to break because Pitt got to 15, but now back to 14. Panthers 14, Mustangs 11. As Ellie Bolton puts it in play. Corey Stafford can't put it to the floor. Cullen to Wheeler and off high hands. Mustangs within 2.
Wheeler racking up her first kill of the night, taking advantage of Fairbanks, who is front row, floating over, trying to get to that line, but Wheeler beat her to it.
Bolton. Her run ends as Pitt is not going to let SMU get on long runs today. It's going to be back and forth. Of course, on Wednesday, we saw several big runs from the Panthers. 8-0 in that first set. They went on a 9-0 run in the second, and then a pair of 8-0 runs in the third. Here's Sam Erger, Coach of the Year in the American last year. 3rd season on the Hilltop, previously with Baylor for 8 years. Her team's theme this year is on a mission. I want to relish the big moments. Of course, last go for a lot of these student athletes. They've already created some amazing memories, Chanel, and hope there are plenty more to come.
They started off the season with a huge win against Nebraska, and they're looking to do it against #1 here, Pitt. They're on the up and up and looking to make an impact here with Coach Erger leading the way.
12th season for Dan Fisher at Pittsburgh. He earned his 300th victory last Friday at Boston College. Panthers have made 3 straight trips to the national semifinals. They're 5 times ACC champion in his tenure and have made 8 straight NCAA tournament appearances.
Coach Erger spoke to the fact that Fisher should be in the Hall of Fame as well as this team. One of the best teams we've seen consistently in this decade. I mean, if you want to win, shoot, he knows how to do it.
Enjoyed our visits with both of these coaches. Open books when it comes to their team. Great insights ahead of this matchup. And again, the chess match where you have to make adjustments. Both teams want to do what they do well, continue to do so. But even Pitt, after a sweep, knowing they need to do better. Coach Fisher admitted, sometimes from the outside, you might look at this team and think, everything's perfect. We're #1. We're unbeaten. We've only lost 1 set. There's still plenty of room to grow. Point to Pitt as Tremay goes long, and immediately Coach Erger calling for an explanation. And the challenge card is coming out.
I think the call was made thinking the ball hit the antenna, but you see the whole SMU coaching staff up saying that maybe it was the blocker's hands and not the ball.
SMU is challenging that the blocker was in the net, not the ball.
Shannon Knutson. Bang Nguyen is our high umpire, our high referee today, excuse me.
Oh, I don't know. I might see Valeria Vasquez Gomez left pinky just scrape the antenna out there.
These are not the only views that our officials receive. There are other closed circuit cameras tied in to the official replay system here at DV Sport at Moody Coliseum.
Oh, well, that's a very clear shot right here. Shamay's ball wasn't even close to the antenna. This is definitely on the blocker.
And you can tell why not just Coach Erger, but it seemed like the entire staff jumped up from their seats protesting immediately.
Call is going to be reversed. Hit number 2 in the antenna, which is considered part of the net.
Yep,
Exactly what you expected.
Yep. We have a really quick reaction from Sina Uluave, who was the libero for SMU last year. So she's got a great eye for these things. And she immediately went to Coach Erger and said, no, 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 you better pull out that green card.
2 challenges issued by SMU, both successful. And with that, the Mustangs are back within 2 points. Pitt 15, SMU 13 in the opening set. Nia Shamay sends the ball into play. Up to Vasquez Gomez. Diving Brooke Frazier into the broadcast position. Point to the Panthers. We always love seeing Brooke, but not in that circumstance.
Yep, Chris and I are very honored that the players like to come and talk to us midpoint, but running off into the cameraman isn't necessarily a good sign.
Great effort, but Panthers now up by 3, make it 4. First ace of the day from either side, and SMU needs a timeout, now trailing by 4.
And we see this double libero rule for both sides, but their second libero is more of a serving sub over here for Pitt.
Great fall on both of these campuses for SMU and Pittsburgh, as the Mustangs are ranked 15th in both volleyball and men's soccer, while the Panthers have the #1 team in the country in both of those sports. Mustangs and Panthers also ranked in football. And both coaches said that it truly is that winning attitude tends to go throughout the student-athlete community and push everyone.
It's contagious, you know. You don't want to walk around campus and be the lowest ranked team, right? You know, it was almost a joke at Baylor back in 2019. And we had a lot of teams doing good, but it is, you want your team to do well, and the spirit does flow throughout the facilities. Everyone has a winning mindset, and you see that the schools really take care of them. They give them the right resources to make sure that they're competing at the highest level.
The SMU football team has its bye this week, while Pitt has a home game this afternoon against Cal. We'll have that on ESPN starting at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central. It gets to be about that time, an hour from now, Chanel. I imagine we'll have a few Panther fans in the Coliseum enjoying the screen in front of them, watching football and the volleyball game here in person.
Yeah, you definitely can't miss out on that Texas-OU matchup, not too far down the road. And let me tell you, traffic getting over here, you might as well just stop at SMU for a little bit and catch the last half of the football game.
Wheeler, big block in front of her. Kelly teaming up with Blair Bayless, making her return. Both of these former Dallas-Fort Worth High School products.
You got a Texas-sized block over there with Kelly and Bayless. They're so happy to be home, and you can see some of their club coaches and younger players are here to support the product from where they're coming from.
Kelly from Rockwall Heath, Bayless from Plano West. Both in the Dallas area. Shamay coming from Wyoming, trying to take this match over. SMU needs a rally here, trailing by 4.
Tremaine hitting .667, but she was only 2 kills, 3 attempts. So they have to find ways to put the ball down to the floor more often, which is a point Coach Erger made. She said, we have to kill the ball. We have to kill the ball. We have to hit harder, and we have to score with more people. We can't have production just from one player.
One of the changes from Wednesday to today is in personnel. Lamoran at the service line. She didn't play on Wednesday. Into the lineup to give Pitt a different look. But for Vasquez Gomez, Tabron digs it out. Pulling to Foster, pushing it to the far corner.
You can see Colin pointing to her head. Such a smart move, and she is so right. Foster going up, transitioning hard. She's up and ready as Colin is front row. She's one of the only 2 options besides the back row attack, and she throws it deep over the head of Klicka, finding space in zone 5.
That deep right corner available and utilized by Foster. Service error from Lamoran. That was Foster's 2nd kill. Tabron leads the way for SMU with 4. Babcock has 4 for Pitt. Now here's Rachel Fairbanks, first-team All-American a year ago, also the ACC Setter of the Year. Tabron set up by Bolton, and again, those big blockers getting in the way for Pittsburgh. Hard to get past Kelly and Babcock.
Yep, even when you're swinging high and hard, you're out of system. What else can you do? Your team has to cover you on a ball like that. And it wasn't straight down to the floor. They had time, but it looked like just a small miscommunication error.
Pitt first to 20, 20 to 15. SMU back within 4 as the serve goes long. 3rd service error for Pittsburgh. SMU has 5. Just 1 ace combined by these teams, and it came from Pitt's Dylan Griffin. Foster is an ace machine for SMU. Now takes over the ACC lead in that category, her 38th of the year.
You know, normally there's a broadcaster jinx on missing serves, but I think you might have just talked her into that ace there, Chris.
That's happened several times, and it's purely coincidence, merely because Foster continues to get it done. Back-to-back aces for Foster.
Foster has complete control right now, building more confidence, but smart timeout by Fisher to try to break this momentum and get his team to side out.
Nearly every time Foster steps to the line, I'm going to mention her serving prowess. And of course, because she is so good, occasionally she'll deliver. Aces per set, Babcock does have the lead. Foster right behind her. Vasquez Gomez in the 5 spot. When it comes to total aces, it is Foster that has the #1 spot. 39 for her. Babcock has 37. But to have 3 of the top 5 in this aces per set category on the floor at one time, we have some fireworks.
Serve and pass is key to the game of volleyball. And Coach Fisher talks about, we don't want just maybe 1 or 2 good servers. Obviously, as we see here, he does in the top 5, but he wants his team to be able to get any other opponent stuck in every single rotation, not just one.
That trims the SMU deficit to 2. Dan Fisher takes the timeout. He knew that today would be significantly more difficult than Wednesday. Pitt in their home environment in that one, and then you switch up. Second match between these teams comes so quickly. Saturday in Dallas, SMU having a chance to adjust and also just to be used to the kind of firepower and speed that Pitt throws at you. Now you have a little bit more recognition of what they bring to the table.
Right, it's nice to be able to face a team so quickly right after you play them, because now you know exactly what to expect. You're not worried about prepping for other teams before. Your sole focus is Pitt right now, trying to make the adjustments as quick as possible.
And out of the timeout, Foster into the nets. Pitt's lead now at 3, and they'll send Valeria Vasquez Gomez, who we just showed you, one of the top servers in the ACC, a chance to close out this set. 6-year player out of Puerto Rico. Maya Tabron. Off high hands, now a chance for Pitt. The All-American Babcock. Now Tabron goes at Rachel Fairbanks for the point.
Tabron shoving this ball into Fairbanks as she's sitting pretty shallow here on the line, but a quick set from Cullen. She finds space outside of the right hand of Babcock, an easy point, making them pull into 2 as they're trying to get 20 points right here in set 1.
That's 2 All-Americans right in front of you going for that point. Past Babcock and on to Fairbanks. Point for the Panthers. Tori Stafford, her 2nd kill in this opening set. She's the ACC leader, 4.38 kills per set this season.
Gentry Lamoran reading it really well, but she just has so much power and is able to get on top of the ball, not hitting it very deep, and can pummel it down straight in the middle to zone 6.
Kat Flood, their team leading 22-19. Nia Chimay. Cullen keeps it alive in front of the scorer's table. Quick set to Ryla Jones, the freshman out of Flint Hill, Virginia High School. Back-to-back state championships. A winner on the high school level. Now an opportunity to win a national championship on the collegiate level on the #1 team in the country, the Pitt Panthers. Panthers won their first 36 sets of the year. Well, the Panthers getting some experience on the international scene this past summer, showing out for Team USA. Olivia Babcock on the senior national team, only rising sophomore to do that. And Blair Bayless trained with the U19 national team. They won gold at the U21 Continental Championship in Toronto. We talk about potential for the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. We brought that up with Coach Fisher during our visit. Of course, Babcock and Bayless. Babcock maybe more likely to be a part of that 28 team, and Tori Stafford as well, while not a member of the Team USA squad this past summer. There have been conversations with Karch Karai. You can't deny that talent.
Yep, even Rachel Fairbanks too is in that conversation, but this is a young, highly talented team. They're playing so good so early on. The sky is the limit for them. Who knows what they're going to look like their senior year, and by the time they graduate, next thing you know, we're going to have the Olympic rings out in California. So these girls have a lot going for them and a lot to look forward to, and they have goals for sure to play past the collegiate level.
Out of the Mustang timeouts, Pitt just 2 points away from claiming set 1. Kat Flood on service. Cullen back to Okamore. Low. Tori Stafford was there.
Tori Stafford continuously building momentum for this team. Again, like we said early on, Pitt is going to finish out a set. They're going to play really clean volleyball right here, and Stafford is a part of that. She's putting balls away, and she's also stopping them at the net.
Set point for Pittsburgh. Back to Okamore. Another chance, continuation, and to Chimay on the left side. Babcock able to end it. The front runner for National Player of the Year puts an exclamation point. And even opening sets. Pitt, the #1 team in the land. SMU, number 15. Every hope and desire that the Panthers have, the Mustangs have the same, and they can increase their national profile with a victory today. Already beat Nebraska, already have 3 wins over ranked opponents, and Natalie Foster, one of the reasons why, as she continues to show off why she's one of the best servers in the country. That's the ace. That's her 3rd ace of the day, Chanel.
She reaches the ball so high above the net, but has this hybrid spin on the ball. It's not necessarily top spin, but she's able to knock passers off their feet, unless, of course, it goes into the middle of the net.
Three aces, 3 errors. Now for Foster. Vasquez Gomez on service. Cullen to Tabron. Babcock able to get in the way. Third block for her. Tied with Kelly as the leader in that category. SMU doesn't have any blocks yet.
Nope, they have to get over the net early, get in front of these Pitt hitters as soon as they can. But Fairbanks is doing a really good job of distributing to several of her players, so they're not able to get as quality of reads to get up and over quick on these powerful pins and middle blockers.
Second ace of the day for Pitt. Griffin had one in the first set. Now Vasquez Gomez gets one in set 2. Put Pitt up 3-2. Tabron lifts it over the top. Now Babcock meeting the SMU wall, and there's that first block of the match for the Mustangs.
That was almost a little present wrapped up with a bow given to Okamore right there. I mean, her hands are already so high. You put a tip right into her block right here, and she's able to just finish it, inching right off the net.
Casey Batenhorst entering the match for the first time. On the line and in. Pitt players backing away, already celebrating. Thought it was out. But an ace for Batenhorst, her 4th of the season.
Yep, the Pitt bench looking at the coach saying, yeah, that was in. So great serve by Batenhorst. This is how she finds her playing time. That arm behind the service line is something that they can't have.
And Tori Stafford knocks it down right in front of Batenhorst to tie us at 4.
That SMU block, you got to protect your defender back there. She's probably cold, you know, and not as warm as your DS's and Bro that's back there. You have to tunnel the ball to your best defenders by getting to the line, closing it, and forcing them to go cross.
Panthers 4, Mustangs 4, and Kat Flood on service. Gentry Lamoran gets to Nia Chimay. Now Stafford denied by Tabron and Okamore, and they do it again. The queen, part of that blocking attack.
SMU loves to say Okamore says no more. She is a force to be reckoned with at the net. Pressed high and over, finishing back to 6, not even giving Pitt a chance to cover that ball.
No blocks for SMU in set 1. Already a pair in set 2, and that puts the Mustangs up 5-4. Ryla Jones couldn't put it to the floor. Gentry Lamoran can't keep it alive.
Ryla Jones up early, knowing that Gentry only has one option to try to throw it over tight. Didn't give her any space to breathe right there.
Here's Babcock on the line and down for the Panthers.
And as we saw in their previous match, Babcock has the capability to absolutely take over and steal all hope from their opponent when she goes back to serve this ball. She only gains more and more confidence every single time she's back there.
Gentry Lamoran. Stafford denied, right back to her. SMU defense shining on that sequence. And Dan Fisher is going to call for a review.
Quickly pulling out that green card right there, as all the players were saying, touch, touch, touch. But I just want to talk about the coverage for Pitt. They are getting some high, tight sets, and SMU has been blocking it, but their coverage is there. They're giving them another chance to live and set up another pin on.
Issues today, knowing that they need to keep 4 hands in Babcock's face at all times. This time it does go off of 1, and the call is reversed. Point to the Panthers.
Even with 4 hands in her face, Babcock is still able to find a way to get a point for her team. And you could see Okamore, I think, just grazed that left ring finger, which is really hard for us to see, but thank God they got these cameras. They can slow it down, get a clear touch, and little points like that matter.
Babcock back to the service line. Cullen to Lamoran. Babcock digs it out and gets the ball right back. Tabron with a dig. Okamore stopped. And now to the right side for Chimay. Mustangs within 1.
Chimay bringing the power with that heavy arm we all know she has. But Gentry Lamoran still in the front row. Maya Tabron in the backcourt right here. They have a little more options right now. Gentry hasn't seen a lot of front row court time, but Coach Erger talked about, let's show them something they're not able to prepare for. And they don't have much film on her, so she's kind of a hidden weapon, some secret sauce that the Mustangs have.
From the back row, it's Babcock again. 7 kills, 14 swings. Pitt's lead back to 2.
She's their go-to hitter right now. You have to get a good block up, but look, Pitt is in system. Their middles are up. You have to honor and respect that. But at this point, you know that they're going to her. She's their leading point scorer. Go put 4 hands in her face and take your chances with the rest of the team.
They'll say that went off of high hands for Pittsburgh. That's right in front of us, Chanel. I didn't think so, and Pitt players agreed. They asked Coach Fisher to pull out the card.
Vasquez Gomez very adamant to the ref, saying she definitely didn't touch that ball, but the truth will be revealed here soon after they get a good look at this.
At least from the naked eye, I don't think this review will last long. And a point will be given over to the Panthers. But as we've seen over the past 4 seasons, Chanel, my percentage on predicting review calls is not great.
Well, one day, we don't know. That might change here, Chris. But looking at this right now, I don't know if I see...
It's going to be reversed. Touch off number 2, Pitt.
Oh, excuse me. A little movement there on that right hand of Valeria Vasquez Gomez. Can see some better movement here. Yep.
The point stays with the Mustangs. So again, I should not predict how reviews are going to turn out.
Yep, I think we're done. We're going to let the people see it and no opinion given.
SMU down by just 1 now. Nice. Chimay has 4 kills so far. Overpass to Cullen. Cullen's racked up 12 assists, able to get in with her first kill.
From one setter to the other, Cullen loves to fight in that front row, but so does Rachel Fairbanks. She went up trying to get some hands on it, made it fall through right in front of her. So be interested to see if Fairbanks responds with maybe a quick dump or tries to be a little more aggressive here.
Tied at 8. No more. Mustangs grab a lead. 3-0 run for the Ponies. Chimay, the reigning ACC Defensive Player of the Week, at the line. That run ends as Vasquez Gomez is able to tool the block in front of the would-be blockers for the Mustangs.
I don't think the connection was great there, so she decided to throw the ball. As she's jumping backwards a little bit, you can see in that gap at the net, ends up in a Pitt point.
Off of Cullen, tied at 9. Babcock mistiming the jump. Long pass, difficult to handle. And the Mustangs go up again, now 10-9.
Vasquez Gomez fearlessly going to set that ball because, as we should all know by now, there are no more doubles as long as the ball is staying on your side of the net. So she put a high ball up there, but it's tough to time and not clearing the net. SMU going back with Gentry and a topspin serve.
Lamoran, one of 4 team captains for SMU. Bree Kelly making her return to Dallas-Fort Worth. Florida transfer, now in her 2nd year at Pitt. Before all that, played for the Rockwall Heath Hawks.
We saw Lamoran take a little bit of power off there, looking to get that first serve over and in, but these passers are too good. They're in system, and when you have Bree Kelly front row, you got to establish her and maybe give Babcock a break.
Foster will head back to the service line after that error.
It's the second missed serve for Fairbanks in that rotation, not being able to score many points.
Foster has 3 aces. Make it 4. Reception error from Emmy Klicka. Mustangs leads now 2.
Some frustration from Klicka. She's just throwing her body behind a really tough serve. The ball's up and high, just not to the setter. Someone has to step in and take that.
Long on that attempt, as Foster is even with 4 aces and 4 service errors. As a team, SMU has 8 service errors, while Pitt has 5. Vasquez Gomez. Chimay. That dangerous back row attack. We're seeing it on display on both sides. Chimay, one of the best to do it for SMU. Babcock, maybe the best to do it for Pittsburgh.
That was a beautiful connection right there. It's all started with a great pass from Tabron in that really deep 5 corners. She put it up nice and high for Cullen to give a perfect set to Chimay, putting it away.
Badenhorst re-enters. Stafford in front of Lamoran.
Stafford is able to get over the block. She's so high and so long. She can put it right in front of that middle back defender, just out of reach. They're reading it. They're in the right direction of the ball, but they're just not shallow enough because she's able to get on top so well.
4 kills for Stafford on just 1 attack error. 11 total swings. Here's Flood. Cullen back to Tabron, right in front of Dan Fisher for the points. Perfectly placed cross-court attack.
Tabron siding out really easy in the 1 rotation. She's over there swinging on the right side, going inside the blocker's hands, finding the defense for Pitt on their heels. No one was even making a move for that ball. She put it perfectly on the sideline.
By Tabron. Gets that one to Jones. Denied, and Lamoran now with an opportunity. Frazier feeds Chimay to get SMU to 15, and that'll send us to a timeout. The Mustangs looking to give the Panthers only their 2nd set defeat of the year.
Quaker Chewy Bars, made with whole grains. Unleash the imagination.
My name is Ali Khan, and I'm a professional cricket player. Driving my dream car has always been a lifelong goal for me. I always wanted a car which performs the best, and that's why I chose the BMW iX M60. It makes me feel like I have made it.
Kamala Harris is going to significantly raise taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up.
Kamala's plan will raise families' taxes by nearly $2,600 a year. Under Kamala, prices have already soared. Now she'd make it worse with even higher taxes.
BK Royal Crispy Wraps. Eat it with the meal or have it as a snack. Only $2.99. It's a hunger hack and it fits in one hand. At BK, have it your way.
There's no one way to wellness. You have to craft it yourself. My way is starting calm and finishing strong.
My way is pushing the limit.
My way is going for it. My way is focused on the future. There's a million ways to wellness. Go find yours.
SMU leading 15-12 over Pitt. We saw strong beginnings to each set for SMU on Wednesday when these teams met in Pittsburgh. In the second set, SMU's lead was up to 12-11, and then you saw the Panthers go on a 9-0 run to take that second set 25-18. Panthers are really good at making adjustments in game.
Both teams, you know, that is the point of this entire back-to-back match, is who can make the adjustments, and I'm sure it was a conversation to take out those long runs that Pitt gave them, and when they do that, it's a much closer game, as we can see.
Okamore and Chimay at the net for SMU, extending the lead to 4.
SMU serving tough, getting in front of their attackers and able to build some momentum here. They have to keep running with it and looking to take set 2 into their hands and relieve them some pressure off of set 3.
Firepower handled by the SMU defense, but Pitt will have another chance. Stafford, Okamore and Chimay there again. Now to the right side, and Babcock trying to pump her team up.
Babcock finishing, but what's pumping up this entire gym is Celia Cullen's defense. She is digging the heat from the middles, from the pins. She is on the floor doing the dirty work, and whoever says setters can't play defense, come watch Celia Cullen, because she's putting on a show right now.
She can do it all. Nice Chimay. Awfully dangerous wherever she stands on the floor. 7 kills to lead the Mustangs.
And this is going to be an all-around team effort, but Nia Chimay certainly can take over this set, just like Babcock can for her team. So it's a kind of a battle of the right sides right now. Both playing 6 rotations, both a threat out of the back row.
Here's Ellie Bolton. Mustangs up by 4. The net nearly helped her out. Stafford. Foster knocks that one back. Now to the right side for Babcock. Tattooing Tabron.
You know, a part of the game plan for most teams is to always take the setter out, but you don't normally see that off the service line. But Bolton serving aggressively, taking her out, but Pitt still finding a way and looking to close this gap right here as they're down 3 points.
Mallory Meyer checks in. The freshman, she didn't play on Wednesday, so another new look that the Mustangs are seeing right now. Panthers keep it alive. Cullen, quick to Foster. Babcock dug it out. Vasquez Gomez, all she can do is send it over. Foster at Babcock. Vasquez Gomez denied. Longest rally of the match so far. Foster nearly ended it. Babcock can't. To Lamoran. Long. It took a long time, and the Panthers persevere for the point.
And despite that error there at the end, that was a phenomenal rally. We saw dig after dig after dig. Both sides super scrappy. The amount of one-arm stabs we saw over from Pitt just back to back to back was crazy. But that just shows the heart and the hustle that these Panthers have. And that's a championship mindset right there when you play defense like that.
Tooling the block. Mustangs get the point back. The lead is 3, and Nia Chimay, after the kill, heads back to service.
SMU only had their side out percentage in the 30s in the Pitt home gym. Now they're at 40%, so they're looking a bit better, but they got to turn around on these points quicker to make sure Pitt isn't going on runs.
Back to Babcock from the back row. Fairbanks making it happen.
Babcock has been scoring in that 1-6 seam. If I'm SMU, my middle back needs to shift over right a little bit, as she hasn't going right down the middle much, but she's finding the space in between both the right and middle back defenders.
18th assist for Fairbanks, 10th kill for Babcock. Both of those numbers the best in this match. SMU is led by Cullen with 16 assists and Chimay with 8 kills. That combination unsuccessful this time. Panthers within 1.
Yep, SMU can't get down on themselves right now and let them back in at the end of this set right here, because we know that Pitt is able to play good volleyball for a long amount of time, not in just spurts. They're able to do it for a while. So SMU has got to get in system, find their terminal hitters, and look to finish out this set.
Stafford to Vasquez Gomez. Valeria with her 4th kill, and we are tied at 18 in set 2.
Fighting their way back here, and that is such a mature swing there from number 2 in these yellow jerseys. She is fearless at the net right now.
Timeout called by SMU as Pitt is on a 3-0 run. Both teams adjusting between Wednesday and Saturday. It'd be easy to stay for Pitt. We played so well, dominated much of that match, so why change anything? It's because the Mustangs are going to make adjustments, and you have to do the same thing. Well, Nia Chimay honored in pregame. Her 1,000th career kill came on September 10th against Baylor, picking up the commemorative ball from head coach Sam Erger. She continues to add to her legacy here on the Hilltop, in the top 10 in kills per set in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Part of that influx of transfer talent that this SMU coaching staff has brought in, the former Wyoming Cowgirl. So far today, 8 kills for Chimay on 14 swings, just 1 error, a 500 hitting percentage.
Yep, she went from 0 in their previous match now to 500. She is their go-to from the front and back row right now. Her arm is so terminal, and she brings so much energy to this team. So to maintain keeping level with the Panthers, she's going to have to keep up this performance and maybe even do a little bit more.
She's been a regular visitor to our broadcast table here on ACC Network as the player of the match in postgame. I'm sure we'll see her a few more times before this year is out. Dylan Griffin, the freshman, long. 6th service error for Pitt. SMU has 8, and that ends a 3-0 Panther run.
And some service errors early on in the set. You know, that's okay, you're being aggressive, but here late in set 2, in 2 such highly talented, high-ranked teams, you have to keep those errors low.
Joust at the net. Point continues. Tabron hits it off of Rachel Fairbanks. Point to the Mustangs, 20-18.
Cullen pushing it all the way out. Tabron finding hands off of Fairbanks, knowing not one of their top blockers, and she is the setter up there, and you're looking to break fingers.
Timeout called by Pitt. This SMU team to withstand the Pitt attack for bursts on Wednesday, doing better this season, and these teams part of the top league in the country when it comes to volleyball now. When you add the power of last year's membership to the new additions for 2024, SMU, Stanford, Cal joining the mix. And there are going to be several hosts when it comes to regionals from this conference. Game in, game out, there is no rest for these teams.
For sure. This is definitely a powerhouse of a conference. So much talent coming out of here. I mean, you got Pitt sitting at #1 right now, Louisville #4, Stanford sitting at 5, and then SMU wrecking their way up there. They're at 15 and looking to maintain or even go up and maybe be a host by the end of the season if they can pull off some wins. So these teams do not get a break whatsoever. Whoever they're playing from top to bottom, it's going to be a tough match.
Coach Erger, when we visited with her yesterday, I think it was kind of half joking, saying if anyone, including us, referring to SMU, if anyone knocks off Pitt, they should automatically get a host spot for a regional. Just lock it in.
Without a doubt, I think so too, because this Pitt team, you guys, I mean, they have solid players in each position. They don't take breaks on this side. They're so well-oiled, highly experienced, but Natalie Foster
on the overpass, knocking it to the floor, her 3rd kill. SMU now 21-18 is the advantage. And another timeout quickly called by Fisher. Panthers in danger of dropping just their 2nd set of the season. The first came last Friday at Boston College. Panthers have won 45 of 46 entering today. Add what's already transpired here inside Moody Coliseum, and it's 46 of 47. And there you take a look at the conference. All told, Pitt and Louisville, the 2 remaining unbeaten teams in the ACC. You see the Cardinals at the end of the month here inside Moody Coliseum against SMU. 4 teams lurking behind the Panthers and the Cards. Virginia, North Carolina, Stanford, and SMU all with just 1 loss apiece.
Yep, SMU picked 6th in preseason so far, but inching their way up. And of course, all these teams haven't played each other yet, so this will shuffle around for sure. But that Pitt and Louisville game, I'm sure it's going to be a packed out game with such high-level, talented volleyball players on both sides, looking to knock off a win for both of them, depending on how the rest of their games go before then.
Stanford saw them among the 1-loss teams. Cardinals here in Dallas to take on SMU on Wednesday. Wheeler just long. Panthers back within 2.
Another tough miss served right here. Wheeler immediately coming off and looking for some ball control with Gentry Limeran coming in for that serve receive pattern.
Back to the line. Rachel Fairbanks, the senior out of Tustin, California. ACC Setter of the Year. And a Pittsburgh Regional All-Tournament team member. Foster. Back to work from the right side.
This is such a hard ball to defend. Natalie Foster getting on it quick. She's high. Either tooling the block or getting the ball to the floor faster than the defender can get there. When she's front row, I know who I'm setting.
22-19 Mustangs. Babcock denied. Dan Fisher talked about when he needs a point, Babcock's getting the ball, can't deliver there. A rarity.
And SMU knows that, and who else would you want front row with Babcock other than Okamore? She is such a huge block at the net. They've got to be able to beat her with speed, otherwise she's going to shut you down.
23-19 SMU. Right back to Babcock. She does not disappoint. Point for the Panthers.
Yeah, it's going up despite being stuffed on that first swing. She repeat sets, goes back to Babcock, and goes inside, making that adjustment, hitting that sharp floor, taking out the outside hitter for SMU.
So physical, that amazing execution. And adjust when need be. Tabron denied. Now Babcock going to the far corner. you may have decided to wake the beast when Babcock got blocked there. She has come back with a vengeance.
Yes, she's probably very angry right now and wants to keep up this pattern of sweeps that they have going as they're down here in set 2. Maybe losing this set, but that is almost an undefendable ball, the one she just hit in that back corner. Almost no one can get that.
SMU up with the block again. Tabron and Okamore. Mustangs get the set point.
And this block is waking up SMU as well, and they're putting one of their best servers, Batenhorst, back there to hopefully end this set with a tough flow.
And Casey Batenhorst at the service line. A week and a day ago, Boston College handed Pitt its first set loss of the year. SMU 1 point away, won't get it here. Tori Stafford. Panthers within 2.
She is not done yet. She's a fighter. She's taking big rips here at the end of the game, putting it down to the floor, building some momentum so that they're not down going into set 3 with like looking down on themselves. So she's going to keep swinging hard despite what the score is.
Kat Flood stepping back to the line, but she'll have to wait as Sam Erger calls a timeout as it remains set point for the Mustangs. SMU playing in Moody Coliseum for the first time in 28 days. A lengthy road trip, including 5 matches in the ACC. And Pitt, of course, considering their recent history, the #1 pick in the preseason poll in the Atlantic Coast Conference. 3 straight trips to the national semifinals, a loaded roster coming back. SMU, a lot of respect for the Mustangs coming into the ACC in their first season after winning the American Championship a year ago. Mustangs were picked 6th.
And Coach Erger has done such a good job with this team, and Coach Fisher has noticed that, and he doesn't give them, they don't discredit SMU in any way. And before Erger got there, SMU was, questioned to even win the AAC championship, but they came in hot, winning last season and coming into the ACC knowing that they're going to make a difference. They're not just going to have to work their way from the bottom up.
SMU already has 3 wins over ranked opponents this season, knocking off Nebraska, Baylor, and Georgia Tech. But this is the top dog, the Pittsburgh Panthers, #1. Mustangs 1 point away from taking set 2. Cohen back to Okamore. Down. Mustangs win set 2. Coming up in about 10 minutes on ABC. Top-ranked team in college football and the top-ranked team in college volleyball in the city of Dallas this weekend. Cullen and Okamore starting off set 3 with the denial.
Starting off with their best server behind the line in Foster, getting them out of system and putting up a high, easily read ball to the outside, pressing up and over, making them block. Very first point of this set 3, trying to get some more momentum.
Foster, long. 10th service error for SMU, 6 for Pitt. Rachel Fairbanks will step back. Wednesday, in the win over SMU, Fairbanks had 39 assists, up to 21 so far today. Back set to Okamore. Fairbanks digs it out. To the right side for Babcock, trying to get into the corner, unsuccessful.
Something you don't see very often with teams is they're out of system setting. Majority of the balls are going to the right side, which is more of an international type of play. Here in the U.S., you see most of the balls going to the left side pin, but Babcock is taking swing after swing after swing when they are off the net and both in system for her specifically.
Batenhorst on the line with Bree Kelly and Tabron. Back to Babcock, wide of the line. Babcock hit at a 571 clip on Wednesday. And this one, 222.
I think SMU is putting up a bigger block in front of her, and she has to work harder to go either over them or around them, resulting in balls flying out of bounds. She's still hitting hard, but she's got to find other ways to score if they're stopping her at the net.
Stafford able to save that ball, keep it alive. Chimay knocks it over to Babcock. Batenhorst to Tabron. Kelly teaming up with Vasquez Gomez at the net.
Big blocks create big momentum. It's still here early in the first set, but that's a part of their game plan for Pitt. They have to start strong, gain momentum from the jump, so that way when it comes to the end of the match, there's not as much pressure going point for point as we just saw.
Here's Vasquez Gomez, second team All-American 2 years ago. Lamoran to Chimay. Babcock along that right side block.
SMU swinging hard, but with big swings, you got to be able to cover, keep it in system, and give your hitters another chance to score.
Kelly to Babcock's left. Now Vasquez Gomez with the score tied at 3. There they are again, Babcock and Kelly.
They're serving tough. They know that Colin really likes going to Chimay right now, just like Pitt likes going to Babcock. They're scouting. They're putting forehands up in her face, and they're being really disciplined on her, forcing SMU to try to get another player involved and have a better chance of defending and scoring in transition.
3-0 run for Pitt after their 9th block of the match. Okamore with some firepower.
Perfect pass there from Bolton. Colin going up, finding her middles early, establishing them, and she is able to find the court so easily.
Here's Tabron. Held to just 5 kills on Wednesday. Already has 7 here on Saturday, but into the net on that serve.
Coming on for Pitt to serve.
Here's Kat Flood, 2-time All-ACC academic team selection for the Panthers. Jams Wheeler, off high hands. Chance for Babcock. Cullen was there. Now Wheeler. Babcock meets her, and SMU with a miscommunication, giving a point to Pitt.
SMU hasn't come out with that same firepower, that same energy here in set 3 as you see so far. They're questioning each other, maybe looking a little more timid, but Pitt, you can't give them free points like that because we've seen them do it before, go off on runs. 9-point run as we saw there in the previous matchup they had earlier this week.
Overpass, taking advantage. Tori Stafford, the ACC leader in kills per set.
And credit there to Kat Flood putting in a tough serve, creating an overpass and an easy point for Pitt to take control over.
It was tied at 4, now a 3-0 Pitt run. Stafford again, able to put it off of Chimay and Okamore for the point.
And again, Coach Fisher talked about getting teams stuck in every single rotation, and this might be one of those rotations for SMU here in the third set that they might stub their toe in.
8-4 Pitt. Their 15 wins on the year include ranked victories at Oregon, at Southern California, at home against Penn State, and at Boston College. They can get it done on the road. They've been tested over and over and over again this season. But their biggest challenge of the year may be today inside Moody Coliseum. Looking at Nia Chimay's left ankle. seeing if she can remain in the match. It would take a lot more than that to pull her out of this one.
She's a tough kid, you know. I don't think there's much that anyone could say or do to take her out of playing a game she'll probably remember for the rest of her life.
Cullen able to keep it alive, and Wheeler sends it over. Tori Stafford knocks that to the floor in a hurry. She's up to 8 kills, and Pitt is on a 5-0 run, leading to an SMU timeout. Mustangs took set 2. Panthers looking to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Hey, what are those?
Little Caesar's Crazy Puffs. Everyone's getting them.
Yeah, kiddo. Everyone but you.
Everyone but you. Everyone but you.
Everyone but you, kiddo.
Everyone but you.
Everyone but
Ah!
Come on, kiddo. Order Crazy Puffs for $3.99 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
There's no one way to wellness. You have to craft it yourself. My way is starting calm and finishing strong.
My way is pushing the limit.
My way is going for it.
My way is focused on the future. There's a million ways to wellness.
Told us yesterday that she likes having another crack at Pittsburgh immediately. Advantageous to the Mustangs. Rework the game plan. It's fresh on your mind. Got to change things up. Coach is giving this a lot of thought over the past few days.
Coach Erger sleeping when she can, but when she's not, she's game planning to give her team the best shot at taking down the #1 team.
Pitt lead is 9-4. Make it 10. Ryla Jones, the freshman out of Flint Hill, Virginia.
She was up with only 1 blocker right here. And when you have a player as talented as she is, she's going to find court either in the corner, on the sideline. You don't know where she's going when you only have 2 hands in your face.
Wheeler gets the point for the Ponies, ending a 6-0 run for Pitt. Panthers went on big runs on Wednesday. That's the longest of this match so far. Wednesday we saw 3 different 8-0 runs for the Panthers.
Touch off the block.
As the challenge card comes in, 3 different 8-0 run for the Panthers and a 9-0 run as well. If this stands, it'll quell the Panther run to 6-0.
I know that both SMU and Baylor, if they go on a 7-point run, they like to get ice cream to reward their team. So I wonder what you get for double digits, as Pitt is inching close to that with that 9-point run. But looking here at the block, they said that it was a touch off of Babcock, but she came down really convinced that she was nowhere near that ball.
From that angle, it appears that the challenge will be right. Again, I am not going to declare one way or another anymore. I've learned my lesson.
Yep, we said we're done.
Reverse, no touch by Pitt, out of bounds, point to Pitt.
But I should have that time.
Yep, we leave it to the guys in blue to make that call.
Point to the Panthers. Call will be reversed. Mr. Knudsen has revealed it to us, now revealing it to the teams and the fans in the stand. Several changes this year in college volleyball, and one specific to the ACC, making sure we have that communication from the down official on every review. Shed some light. Transparency is always the best thing. An ace for Pitt, extending the run to 8-0.
As great of a serving team Pitt is, you got to get your best ball control players in there. James Wheeler not having the best time tonight in the back row, so we see Lamoran come in and try to spark some momentum back there from the backcourt.
Bolton to Lamoran. Up to Stafford, Chimay, and Okamore there to finally put a stop to what the Panthers were doing.
And of course, as Okamore is there on that huge block with Chimay, she's off the court, and Natalie Foster is in, and they have to worry about her on that slide, especially going down the line. She's been super successful there.
Ellie Bolton, light touch on that serve. Mustangs take it, wild point there, and the Mustangs pick it up, trimming the deficit to 6.
They still might only be halfway to catching up with the Panthers, but that might be the play coming from Lamoran to spark some more energy for them and go on a run themselves.
Lamoran didn't play Wednesday. Most recent action was a little less than a week ago at Boston College. Here's Chimay from the left side. Pitt. Cullen went into the net there for the point for the Pittsburgh Panthers after the Mustangs looked like they had been given a gift and a free ball.
Yeah, that's another easy point lost there for SMU, where they could have taken over and tried to catch back up with Pitt here, but I think it might have been Lamoran. She came back into the huddle and said, "My bad, guys, my bad, guys." So maybe she can get a kill to make up for it.
Tabron gets it to Lamoran. Chance for Stafford. Bad pass there for the Mustangs.
That's not a play we typically see made with SMU. Very experienced, very well coached, well trained, but nobody was there on that outside pin when Cullen set the ball up, going for a save, as I'm sure she didn't want a repeat of what happened between her and Bolton earlier.
Chimay denied. Stafford and Jones.
Coach Erger said this herself. This Pitt team is disciplined in every single area. Each player is always doing their job, all of the little things, and SMU has to do the little things as well to keep up, and that includes coverage. You got to have teammates there to back you up when you're taking big swings.
11 blocks for Pitt all told. Jones part of 5 of them. 7th service error for Pitt.
And you know, when you have a lead this big and you've got Babcock on the backcourt, what are you telling her? You're telling her to rip it. Like, not that she doesn't already, but she definitely has room here to go for it.
On that back line and down, an ace for Chimay.
Much needed ace for SMU. They have 11 service errors and 5 aces, looking to add some more, trying to win this serve and pass battle.
Pitt 15, SMU 8. To the back row again. Call against Pitt.
And that's one of those discipline plays Coach Erger was talking about right there, as we saw Babcock's foot just going over that 3-meter line on a back row attack.
Here's Stafford. Monster.
Stafford has been a momentum player so far here. The end of that second set, we saw her pop off on a few more kills, not ready to end that set, but she has started so strong here in set 3 as well.
The quickness with which that ball gets to the floor off her right hand, remarkable.
We've got Blair Bayless in the game here in her hometown, her home city, looking to put on a show right here in front of her friends and family.
Oh, you saw her team up with Bree Kelly earlier on a block. Trying to do it again, making up that left side. And Panthers get it done.
1 for 1 right here in set 3 for Bayless. It looks like no one was able to even get a good read on that ball going off high hands. You see Bolton is stuck on that sharp corner.
Bayless out of nearby Plano West High School. 5th ranked recruit in the state in the class of 23. And she teams up on the block this time. Instant firepower for the Panthers.
There were several coaches fighting tooth and nail to recruit Bayless, and she actually made Fisher wait a little bit on that commitment, but eventually after some time she said she wanted to win and wear this blue and gold.
Panthers increased the lead to 18-9 over the Mustangs. Tori Stafford continues to shine. 10 kills, one of 2 Panthers in double digits. Babcock has 12. Number 3 hitting percentage in the conference at .425. Corey Lewis is the best at Florida State at .462.
And she's hitting .348 on the match so far, as well as 5 digs and 2 blocks. She's having a great all-around performance. She's doing it from the front row, on the net, at the block, and also scoring points when she can. And she's been really consistent at the service line as well, making SMU really struggle in this rotation.
Dan Fisher, talking about the adjustments between Wednesday and today, said the Panthers would keep doing things where they're successful, and they see that SMU is going to make adjustments on their side, go in doing what works, but they would have a plan B if they needed one, and I think we've seen plan B on display in set 3.
Yep, he wasn't giving us many details in the conversation about what that's going to be, as, you know, a good coach is trying to hide that and save it for the match, but both teams said, you know, the sets that they're taking from each other, other teams need to go and watch and see what worked, and I'm sure that SMU probably did that on the set Boston College took from them as well, but the mid-game adjustments is what makes these coaches so great.
I think both coaches want to make sure there's not a mole in our broadcast crew. They're going to be pretty vague when it comes to changes for this matchup. Long on service. And James Wheeler re-enters for SMU and goes back to the service line. Mustangs trail by 8. Blair Bayless getting a big cheer from the hometown crowd just down the road from where she grew up. Takes a curtain call, back to the bench.
And on a really high note, Blair Bayless hitting 1,000 right now. She's killing everything she's touched.
Pardon me, it was a couple other Panthers heading back to the bench. Thought Bayless would get her curtain call, but she remains in this rotation. Nice, Shimei. Big smiles after knocking that down. She's up to 9 kills.
High pass pushing Cullen over to the left half of the court. Trusting Shimei is coming in hot right behind her and beating Kelly at the net, putting the ball straight to the floor.
Here's Foster. 4 aces for her so far. Babcock denied by Tabron and Okamore.
We didn't see many blocks when she left the floor, but you know she's back when we're adding more stats to the blocking column of the stat sheet. Okamore means business, and Maya Tabron works really well with her over there on that left pin, trying to shut down their go-to hitter in Babcock.
That's 8 blocks for the Mustangs. Okamore part of all of them. SMU unable to take advantage of the overpass. It goes out of bounds.
Tough air there from Tabron. The idea was there. She's trying to shove it over to the right half of the court instead of going for a big swing with hands in her face, but missing out of bounds. That's a tough one. You got to look to side out here pretty quick.
Here's Fairbanks. Cullen, the back row to Shimei.
A repeat set there from Cullen. Trusting Shimei, she's getting hot again. She was quiet there for a second, but she's back, and why not go to the one who just scored on that same set not too long ago.
Badenhorst re-enters. Had an ace earlier, 1 of 6 on the afternoon for the Mustangs. Long. SMU now up to 12 errors from the service line.
They're working really hard to side out and getting some big kills, but they keep shooting themselves in the foot with all of these service errors and not particularly at the greatest time. So trying to build that momentum has been very tough for the Mustangs today.
Vasquez Gomez had 14 digs to lead Pittsburgh on Wednesday. 6 so far in this match. Stafford hits it at Purdue, seeing her first action in this set.
SMU is challenging that the ball hit the floor and not played up by Pitt.
Challenge cards comes out from Coach Erger.
Yep. We saw that tip go right into the campfire. You can almost call it, the circle of death, but all 3 defenders relentlessly pursuing this ball. It's not just one person's ball, but I think Fairbanks is the one who got her hand under it. It's got to completely be underneath, but I don't know. But we said we're not making calls anymore, so.
You immediately saw Bree Kelly motion up. That ball's up.
It bounced like it looked it was up. Oh, that left hand. That looks like it's not my call.
Original call is confirmed. Ball was played up by Pitt. Point Pitt.
Yeah, I just love the hustle there from Pitt.
And it worked out as the Panthers get the points. Coach Erger, it's not hard to read lips after that. It was a what?
Yep. Not agreeing whatsoever, but she's doing what she can to help her team side out quick here. And, they're down by a lot and looking like Pitt is going to take this 3rd set. So going into the 4th, she has to do whatever she can.
9-point advantage for the Panthers as the point remains with visitors. Tabron can't knock it past Stafford.
Stafford is all smiles right now, putting that right back in the face of Tabron, getting a taste of how hard she actually hits the ball because it came right back at her super quick.
Natalia Newsom enters the match for the first time for SMU. She had 2 kills and 2 blocks at Pitt on Wednesday, the freshman, and immediately gets the ball to her. Denied. Another chance for Mustangs coming up as Tabron brings it long. Couldn't put it down, and Pitt is at set point.
Pitt knowing that they've got a new threat at the net, let's defend her first because that's the reason they made the change, right? But these errors for SMU is putting them down much further than they like.
24-13 Panthers. Chimay trying to extend the set. Babcock finishes the Mustangs. When you come into a tough environment like this, it ramps you up, and it's not just back-to-back matches, Chanel. It's the adjustment between set to set. These teams have seen so much of each other, but still finding ways to adjust and get better, and Pitt did that very well in set 3.
And this is why they love their job. That's the whole fun about coaching, and especially at this level. They really look forward to the challenge of making the adjustments and trying to win that chess match. But so far, the start of set 2 where SMU won, it started off with some missed serves from Fairbanks, and that's how we're starting off right now as well, as SMU is already up 2-0.
Chimay able to tool the block off Kelly. She's the Mustangs leader with 11 kills on 25 swings. Mustangs feeding her a lot, feeding Tabron a lot. 20 attacks for Tabron. 2-0 Mustangs. Vasquez Gomez able to put it in front of the blockers.
Vasquez-Gomez finally reaching double digits in attempts right now. She is 5 for 10 with 2 errors, hitting 300, but some more production from the Pitt side might help out and balance their offense instead of being heavily reliant on number 5 Babcock.
Chimay goes to the far corner and down.
That is a beautiful swing and so hard to defend anything in the back court, especially in the corner. Most defenders are sucked up reading the seam and trying to get in the gaps a little more shallow in the court. So when it's hit back there by the line judge's feet, almost no one is touching that.
Stafford denied by Okamore and Chimay. Okamore in on every single block for the Mustangs. Today, that's 9.
Absolutely. The hot hand right now for Pitt is Stafford. She's looking back, where's my coverage? But Nia Chimay all over that ball, sparking some momentum as you see Frager jumping into her arms.
And Okamore gets credit, but you're right. That's all Chimay right there. Back to Okamore. Her 5th kill.
And I'm sure they talked about this going into it. We got to get in system and get these middles involved quick. Right here, Okamore scoring right off the bat.
SMU looks to be the team making the best adjustments here in set 4. Up 5-1 early. Timeout, Panthers.
Hey, what are those?
Little Caesar's Crazy Puffs. Everyone's getting them.
Yeah, Kittle. Everyone but you.
Everyone but you. Everyone but you.
Everyone but you, kiddo.
Everyone but you.
Everyone but
you. Ah!
Come on, Kittle. Order Crazy Puffs for $3.99 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
We will build what I call an opportunity economy. An economy where everyone can compete and have a real chance to succeed. Under my plan, more than 100 million Americans will get a tax cut. Donald Trump, he wants to impose a national sales tax and give billionaires massive tax cuts year after year. If you want to know who someone cares about, look who they fight for.
SMU Mustangs playing host to the #1 Pitt Panthers. 3 straight trips to the national semifinals for Pitt. Coach Erger telling us yesterday, Pitt is good at everything, but they are not invincible.
No one is, right? There's always some weakness, some crack, and you can't play perfect every single game.
How about Chimay and Okamore putting on a clinic at the net?
All smiles for the girls in white and blue, shutting it down over there on the right side. Stafford having no space to breathe.
By the way, there is a youth clinic after this match is over that the Mustangs will put on. I think they'll learn a thing or two from Okamore and Chimay.
They don't have to wait for after the match for the clinic because they can see it all right here, right now.
Plenty of young volleyball players in the building today to witness this #1 versus #15 matchup and get some instruction when it's over. Kat Flood, the grad student out of Wilmette, Illinois, with the service error. Now both teams in double digits in that category. Panthers have 10, Mustangs have 12.
It's always a breath of fresh air whenever you have a service error, especially straight in the net. You're not even giving the other team a chance to touch the ball, and you're able to go back and hopefully make sure that your servers aren't giving the favor right back.
Here's Bolton. Stafford, quick to the floor. Tabron, no chance to dig that out.
Stafford finding space over the block. She is a high leaper. She's able to see the court so well, putting it outside of Tabron's reach.
Stafford up to 12 kills, just 1 behind Babcock for the team lead. Babcock at the line. Cullen to Chimay. Fairbanks keeps it off the floor And Stafford unable to put it down in play.
Pitt looking for a touch on that. Not getting it, and SMU is able to break Babcock's service run just after the first point, which is definitely a green light for them.
We saw Babcock as part of an 8-0 Pitt run on Wednesday. She had 4 aces. Fairbanks to Babcock. Long.
You heard some oohs and ahs after that spinner we got from Chimay taking that second ball, but it's fair game now. And, you know, last year that point would have been over, but it was able to keep going on and continue to make Pitt force an error.
Stafford trying to get her team back in the match, looking with some intent on those eyes. She went back to the huddle.
Again, they were looking to have some strong starts, and we saw that there in set 1 and set 3, and right now SMU has all the momentum on their side.
Panthers keep it alive. Cullen gets it to Natalie Purdue. Her first kill, and only her 4th of the season.
Natalie Purdue taking on a new role for SMU, and she is getting her time to shine right now against the #1 ranked team. That's got to feel great for her, and she is doing what she can to make sure that they have all the energy she needs as she goes off on the bench.
Last year, Purdue was second best on SMU with nearly 3 kills a set. 4 so far on this season all told. Tabron can't put it down in bounds.
Tabron looking to tip that ball right over the reach of the block, but a misconnect there and just came off her fingers wrong, I think, ended up out of bounds.
(10-5) SMU, 4th set. Back row Chimay. Low. Couldn't put it over the net.
And it's an advantage to have a back row attack right now when your setter is pushed all the way off the court instead of flinging it all the way to the outside. But when you're Chimay, you got to put it over, maybe take the setter out or take one of their attackers out, get them on the floor, and be able to get a better read on the block.
Natalie Foster denied by Kelly and Vasquez Gomez.
And that's a great adjustment there by their block, because Foster was going to town with that line attack there on the slide, but they read it early. They know they don't have that many options, and Cullen hasn't been that active at the net with the dumps either, so they were able to release pretty quick.
Pitt storming back, 3-0 run, now trailing by 3. Purdue sends it over. Quick set to Kelly. 4th kill for her. And Sam Erger wants to talk things over. Kelly making her return to Dallas-Fort Worth. Played in high school for Rockwall Heath, which is about 30 miles from here. She was the district MVP in 2019, newcomer of the year in 2018, and took the Hawks 2 rounds deep into the state playoffs in 3 different seasons.
And with this new adjustment for the ACC, having SMU now in this conference, she wasn't previously able to go play back at home for her. So this is a really cool experience for Bree Kelly and Blair Bayless as well.
Yeah, Bayless from Plano West, even closer than Rockwall Heath is to the Hilltop. Kelly, a redshirt junior, began her collegiate career at Florida before making her way to Pitt. Fighting through an injury that ended her year prematurely in 2023. Happened in early September. an ankle issue that was tough to come back from, and Coach Fisher said that Kelly is not quite back to 100%, but getting closer to it every passing day. Some middles are good blockers, he says, but not as good of a hitter. It's really unique that Kelly can do both at this level.
Yep, she's a gold mine for sure, being able to be an offensive weapon and a defensive threat as well. But being able to battle back from an injury can be mentally taxing. But she looks good to go, and like she has much more room to grow, but she's performing very well right now. And I'm sure her parents are grateful she's here. Her sister, Becca Kelly, is the other pin hitter for TCU, who's in Utah right now. So that made their decision easy on who to watch this weekend in person.
Tabron long on the attack. I imagine either way, even if the Horned Frogs were at home this weekend, it's a rarity to see Pitt in Texas.
Right, despite maybe a preseason game or two, but yeah, you're right. I think she won that battle with mom and dad.
5-0 Panther run comes to a close. Mustangs able to hold them off and maintain a lead.
Foster finding a kill in the backcourt, and it's now at the service line with that deadly weapon of an arm. If she can go on a run right here, SMU is going to be in a good position second half of this set.
Foster, 4 aces, the ACC leader. Here's Kelly again. 5th kill.
Such a solid pass, and something I've noticed about this Pitt team is in serve receive, they pass pretty low. They're not passing high balls, which makes the other team have to pay attention and react much quicker than it would be passing against a team who's passing a little bit higher. So they're keeping the ball in system low and fast.
Fairbanks at the line. She has 34 assists so far. Mustangs go back up 2. Badenhorst returns to the line for Sam Erger's Mustangs.
We have Cullen off the court right now, so if they can get a dig here off of Pitt, she's running this offense right now. She is the new QB1.
And Kelly takes care of things in a hurry for Pitt.
Smart shot right here. She knows that she's not comfortable right now and right back playing defense against her. And it wasn't even, I don't know if that was completely intentional. It looked like it rolled off her fingers, but it was still a good low throw, and Badenhorst was too deep to get underneath that ball right there.
Cullen to Okamore. Wide of the line. Tied at 12.
SMU has to be super clean here in set 4. They're getting big swings, but missing just out of bounds. They gotta find a way to make Pitt work for every single point.
SMU had a 6-point advantage in this set. Now it's even. Fairbanks quickly to Kelly. And Chimay tooling the block. Came down a bit awkwardly, but made a smart decision the way she was able to angle it off hands.
And the defense for SMU is going to save them here in this set. Pitt is not giving them anything easy. They're sending over free ball passes, the overpasses, and still able to slow down the ball at the net off of the block and transition and score.
Fairbanks quickly to Kelly again. Purdue. Back to Babcock. Some uncharacteristic errors for Babcock on the attack today. 13 kills, 11 errors now on her 37 swings. Her hitting percentage at just .054.
SMU knew that she was going to be their hot hand majority of the time, so they've had to spread out their offense a little bit, get Stafford involved some more, and both teams have had to make adjustments as we see Natalie Purdue come in instead of who we normally see, James Wheeler.
Purdue could not put that one down inbounds. Panthers back within a point. Flood returns to the line. She had an ace earlier. On the overpass, right at the all ACC selection, Tori Stafford.
Again, Chris, they can hear you with these aces. They know, so you don't have a jinx today. You have the power of the ace.
Well, that one goes to Stafford on the kill. Another chance at the line for Flood. Okemore stopped. Now a chance for Chimay. Fairbanks successful in the dig. Babcock knocks it to the floor. 14 kills. Now even with Stafford for the team lead.
It's a great dig there by Fairbanks. And Kat Blood, I've been super impressed with her out-of-system setting. She has been going high in almost perfect location every single time to Babcock, who's able to score just like it was coming from an in-system ball.
(15-14) Pitt. Chimay ties it up.
This is going to be a fight between two experienced and well-trained teams. They both have big arms. We have to see who's going to be the better serving team, who's going to be the better passing team, and who's going to make those defensive plays here late here in set 4.
15-15. Fairbanks to Babcock. Foster and Purdue are there for the Ponies.
I don't know if there's anything better than a stuff block feeling, especially for someone who hasn't been getting playing time consistently throughout the season. But Natalie Purdue, you can't be slept on. One thing about SMU is that they have depth and anyone can come in at any time to make a difference.
That's the 11th block for SMU today, Chanel. First one not involving Okemore.
Okemore has a huge impact on that SMU block. She reads well, she's up high.
Purdue on the overpass for the points.
Yep.
Instant energy for SMU for the Richardson products just up the road.
Defensive plays will spark energy for everyone. You always see it. You always see big kills and flashy stuff from teams like this at this level, but it's the defense, it's the blocks at the net that make them get some more momentum back on their side.
17-15 SMU. Mustangs scored the last 3 points. Babcock puts an end to that short run.
Babcock in that seam, looking so effortless right now. But she has a high-risk, high-reward serve.
Chimay, after Pitt nearly had an ace. Mustangs barely keep it off the floor and get the score.
Maya Tabron handling this serve, getting it nice and high for Colin to find Chimay. Landing right in front of Valeria Vasquez Gomez, and Pitt hasn't gone to 5 at all this year, so if they can take this.
Foster and Purdue at the nets. SMU now with a 3-point advantage.
If they can take this set, they are going to be the first ones to battle test this team like no one has before during this season.
Big deep breath from Chimay before she unleashes the serve. Stafford. And Pitt, trailing by 2, the #1 team in the country. Dropped set 2, only the second set that they have lost this season. Nobody has taken the Panthers to 5. Mustangs, the closest anybody has come so far, still need to earn 6 more points. Pitt with the ace, and it's a 1-point advantage for the Mustangs. Purdue's done a lot of good things, but the reception error there. And Stafford with another jump serve. Bayless denied by Frazier. Able to get it off of blockers. Point to the Mustangs. SMU is the first to 20 in set 4.
We have now entered the red zone. It is a game to 5 for SMU. Pressure is on, and they have to serve tough, and they have to do everything they can to slow down this Pitt offense.
Card comes out from Dan Fisher.
Pitt is challenging the call of the last ball was in, not out.
Challenging in and out. As it stands now, SMU leads 20-18. I'm Chris Mykoski. Chanel Bramschreiber is alongside. Our crew behind the scenes led by producer Bree Sorensen. The #1 Pitt Panthers at Moody Coliseum in Dallas, Texas,
be confirmed
to face number 15 SMU. Call is confirmed. Point to the Mustangs. Second meeting of the week between these teams. They faced each other in Pennsylvania on Wednesday. Panthers swept 25-17, 25-18, and 25-9. That third set, Coach Fisher said, may have been the most dominant his team has looked this season, but it's hard to quantify. It's right up there with sets against Georgia Tech and Penn State.
Yep, he said he looked up and the score was 24-8, and he was like, when did this happen? How did we get here? But
Maya Tabron getting this building about as loud as it's been so far this afternoon as SMU increases its lead to 3.
everyone here knows this is a do or die situation for the Mustangs. It is loud. It's getting gritty here on both sides, and they're taking big rips like they've already won the set.
Wheeler wide on her service attempt. Checks back out in favor of the hot hand, Natalie Purdue. Top-ranked Pittsburgh with Dylan Griffin, the freshman. Excuse me, the junior. SMU within 3 of taking the set.
Brooke Frazier dropping it like it's hot to get under that serve. It was a tough one, but she got it to Cullen. And if Chimay can get past this block, she's going to score. And that's exactly what she did right here. Next thing you know, one of their best servers is back on the end line here late. 3 points away from taking set 4.
It's Foster. 4 aces. Another error at the service line for her. 4 aces, 6 service errors.
2 back-to-back service errors for SMU. The last 5 points of the game, they got to be disciplined and clean right here. But Fairbanks does as well, trying to fight back.
SMU's lead is now just 1.
SMU with some late errors here. They had the momentum, but right now Pitt is closing back in. They know how to finish out sets. If they can keep Fairbanks behind the line, they're going home with another dub.
Cullen back to Okamore. 6th kill for Okamore to go with her 10 blocks.
It's a great spot. The libero right down the line, diving in, trying to get there. Stafford also in middle back, making a great effort. Now just 2 points away from taking the #1 team to 5.
Batenhorst at the line. Babcock trying to will her team back to victory. Purdue. Chance for Vasquez Gomez on the line and in. Panthers within a point. And Vasquez Gomez, after that, will head to the service line.
Only her 6th kill of the night, but she's a very well all-around player, a tough server, one of the top in the conferences, and then a great defender there in the backcourt.
Cullen to Tabron. Dug out by Fairbanks. Chance for Stafford. Chimay denied by Gomez. Tabron again. Tori Stafford yelling at herself. Unable to block. Off hands and out of bounds. SMU is to set point.
We are 1 away from the first time this season, taking the #1 team to a 5-setter, pushing them to the limits. Maya Tabron ripping at that ball. Back at the service line now.
24-22 SMU. Babcock unable to get the point for the Panthers. Purdue denied by Klicka. Now Stafford tools it. Panthers stay alive in set 4.
SMU tooling Stafford on that one, and she returned the favor right back, going up swinging hard at the hands of SMU. They need to get this point or they're going to 5.
1 point SMU lead, 24-23. The decibel levels are high on the hilltop. Best crowd since the Nebraska match, where SMU beat the #2 team in the nation, the Huskers. Now the #1 team in the country, the Panthers, in the building. And the 13th sweep of the year in those 15 wins for Pitt.
And Coach Fisher said, you know, it might have looked easy to the outside eye, but it's not for them.
Foster gets things started for SMU in set 5. And given the level of this match, 1 versus 15, we may have some more casual fans coming in, especially diehards of these two universities. Set 5, we only played a 15. Unlike the first 4, we played a 25. Still have to win by 2. Purdue down. What a burst for SMU to add Foster to the mix. Excuse me, to add Purdue to the mix in these last few sets. That's kill number 4 for her.
This is the moment she has been waiting for. What a time for her to step up in a situation that means so much for both of these teams. And thankfully, she's in a gym where she's playing against elite players all the time. So it's nothing new, but to be doing it against an opponent such as Pitt is big time.
Vasquez Gomez with her 7th kill. That beats what she did on Wednesday. She had 6 kills on 17 swings in that sweep. Now 7 on 14 in this match that has gone to a 5th set. Chimay from the back row. I've seen some intense looks on Celia Cullen's face over the past few years. This may be a new level.
I was just thinking the same thing. I'm looking at her and she looks like she is ready to do some damage. She's giving that energy to her teammates as well. She's all business. She's a winner. That's why she came to change this SMU program, and she's done only that so far.
35 assists for Cullen. Wednesday had 21. That was her lowest total of the year.
And I mean, it makes sense going against a team such as this, but she is a contender to be, you know, conference setter of the year, and that means a lot going against someone as good as Rachel Fairbanks. But she knows how to distribute this offense, and she has great hitters that put the ball away, whether it's a perfect set or not.
Cullen again, now to Okamore. Down. 7 kills for Okamore. SMU with a 2-point lead.
And it might seem small, only 2 points, but here in set 3, you got to win the mini games to 5. 3 mini games, and SMU right now is close to getting that first checklist get it checked off the box. So Okimore front row, big block as we saw her with those 5 blocks taking over there in set 2. And a tough server from Badenhorst.
Badenhorst returns and a free ball now for the Mustangs. Set up for Okimore. Badenhorst. Her second assist of the day. And it gives SMU a 3-point lead in the decisive 5th set. We'll take a break and come back for the conclusion of this epic clash.
Kamala Harris is going to significantly raise taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up.
Kamala's plan will raise families' taxes by nearly $2,600 a year. Under Kamala, prices have already soared. Now she'd make it worse with even higher taxes.
At Burger King, we flame grill our burgers. Why? Because that's how it should be done. Hot, juicy, smoky, flame grilled, and made your way. Come experience the flame grilled difference with 2 Whopper Juniors for just $5.
Why has America accepted the wait for payday? When life doesn't wait for you to get paid. Introducing MyPay from Chime, a revolutionary new way of getting your pay when you want. Get up to $500 of your pay before payday. No interest, no credit check, no mandatory fees. When any day is payday, it's a good day. Get paid when you say with MyPay. Get started at Chime.com.
After the Pitt timeout, Casey Badenhorst returns to the service line. Back-to-back kills by Nadie Okimore, the grad transfer from Florida. They get it to Babcock. I think everybody in the building knew where that ball would go after the timeout by the Panthers.
Everyone can know where they're setting the ball, but Babcock will still find a way to get the job done, especially when she's back here on this service line. She might be a little more timid right now as they're down and not a lot of room for error, but she's a phenomenal player. She's going to give it the best she's got.
Frazier able to keep that one off the floor. SMU unable to get a chance, double touch.
SMU moving to a 4-man serve receive, trying to defend this bullet that she is sending over the net.
Pitt back within 1. Babcock long.
And SMU is making great adjustments. They actually started off differently in this 5th set. We saw Maya Tabron started off from the service line for them. Normally we would see Natalie Foster. So these lineups are looking a bit different. And Pitt is going to have to adjust at the net with these blockers.
3rd service error of the day by Babcock. Okimore alongside Chimay. The Mustangs continue to rule at the net since the beginning of set 2.
SMU with all the energy, and that's a great coaching move by Erger. She lined up Okimore to be with Stafford, who's been the hot hand for Pitt so far, trying to slow her down as much as possible because Babcock hasn't been producing as much as normal.
Long off of Wheeler. And with every single point, you feel the intensity get bigger and bigger in this building. SMU had the biggest win in program history against Nebraska. Huskers were ranked number 2 at that point. Pitt ranked number 1, unbeaten. And the Mustangs 8 points away, make it 7. Nia Chimay, 18 kills to lead all student athletes.
Nia Chimay sparking the energy to switch sides of the court. She is an absolute gamer. She shows up in big moments, takes big swings, and creates all the energy for her team.
Teams will switch ends. Pitt was on its preferred side to begin the set. And you mentioned before the 5th began that Pitt had won every set from that end.
They did. So I think they switched sides on that coin toss on purpose because they had so much momentum starting on this side. But SMU flipped the switch, and now they're on the side of the court they've been victorious in. So I think it actually is working more so in SMU's favor.
8-5, the SMU lead, dumped over by Fairbanks. We haven't seen very much of that from either team today, but Fairbanks making a smart play.
Very sneaky dump right here. She hasn't been active earlier through the match, so throwing this over here in the first set, SMU wasn't prepared for it, and a quick side out for them, trying to get to 8.
Griffin, two-time ACC All-Academic Team choice out of Union, Kentucky. Chimay dug out by Babcock. Griffin on the overpass, but Chimay can't take advantage as Kelly is there to deny her.
Griffin not getting much action on those second touches, so sending it over, you would think that's a free point for SMU, but Pitt doesn't give up. They put hands up there, blocking the ball from coming back to their side and extending this run at least one more point.
8-7 SMU. Cohen to Chimay. Down in the campfire for the Mustang point.
Purdue with her hands on her head in complete awe of her teammate. Nia Chimay hitting hard, putting the ball in places where no one from Pitt is with the off speed. She's so smart. Let's see if she can show up defensively with the serves right now and make some big digs against really strong swings against Pitt.
9-7 Ponies. Vasquez Gomez dug out by Chimay. Frazier has to make an incredible effort. Mustangs keep the point going. Babcock dug out by Purdue. Now Tabron. Fairbanks. Vasquez Gomez. Frazier is there again. And Tabron finishes things off. An all-around effort by the Mustangs. Brooke Frazier may be the MVP of that point.
That point right there might have just won SMU the match. You can see Coach Fisher actually plugging his ears. It's so loud in here. He doesn't want that energy entering his team, but that completely stole all momentum. Pitt had so many chances to score and couldn't find a way to put it away.
10-7 Mustangs. Pitt thinking they had it off high hands. The initial call is no. And Pitt needs a timeout. Mustangs 4 points away from handing the Panthers their first loss of the season. This SMU team with so much experience coming back this year, these leaders, this is exactly the formula that Sam Erger needed to have a chance success in this initial season in the country's best conference.
Coach Erger has a gift of recruiting players, whether that's freshmen coming in straight out of high school or taking them from different programs when the opportunity presents itself. And she has done a phenomenal job piecing the puzzle together with such amazing players, well-rounded. They have great personalities, and they just click as soon as they come onto campus. So the fact that they love each other so much off the court makes it super easy for them to perform at a high level here on their home territory.
One of those graduate students, Nia Chimay, with 19 kills on 44 swings. That ties her season high. Previously, she had 19 in a win at Baylor back on September 10th.
It's nothing new for this team to break records and do something new. It's like, this is what they look forward to. This is how they have fun.
Here's the national rankings from the AVCA. Pitt, the unanimous #1 team in the country. They're not just #1. Everybody says they're #1. SMU at number 15, the highest ranking in program history.
You're exactly right, and the numbers prove it. Pitt has been dominant all around and have proven themselves to be in that #1 spot. But SMU is going to challenge them.
Stafford able to pick up the points for the Panthers.
Yep, if SMU can pull this off, like we talked about, maybe breaking into that top 10, and if they can continue to win throughout conference, especially against wins over Stanford and Louisville, it would be amazing for them to host all the way through the regional with a win like this.
Big goals, but none of them unattainable for the Mustangs. Chimay, long, Point Panthers. Coach Erger immediately going for that review card. They'll challenge it. If the call is reversed, Chimay will have a new season high on kills. I can't recall ever feeling energy like this, maybe outside of the Nebraska match.
Pitt is challenging touch,
but that
or SMU's challenging a touch
was
on the
an
block.
SMU sweep, so you didn't get the build-up to the 5th set like you have today.
This has definitely been the most.
Call with no touch. Call's being reversed.
That was quick.
It was touched by 23's right pinky finger.
Touched by Kelly. And wait for this reversal to be announced to the crowd. And listen to them.
Microscopic. The energy shift for SMU is monumental for them, as they are only 3 points away from taking out the #1 seeded Pitt team.
#1 in the country against number 15.
Pitt only passing with 2 receivers right now in this rotation.
Maya Tabron, big deep breath before she comes to the line. Nearly had the ace. Babcock keeps it alive, sends it over. Cullen to Foster.
Natalie Foster seems to be invincible on this slide attack. It started with a great serve from Tabron, nearly acing their libero for Pitt, and getting a free ball, capitalizing on that, running your middles, 2 points away.
13-8. First team to 15. Takes set 5. Got to win by 2. Sent over by Purdue. Set up for Kelly in her return home. Not going to go away quietly.
And the defense from SMU is sparking energy despite them losing that point. Tabron diving out to the floor, saving the ball, but Brie Kelly completely hammering this ball to the ground when they got that free ball.
Vasquez Gomez. 9 digs to her credit. Long on service. Match point for SMU against the top-ranked Pitt Panthers.
The people have stood to their feet. The ponies are up and 1 point away from doing another historic thing for the Mustangs.
Foster finishes off Pitt with an ace. The biggest win in program history for the Mustangs.
Who else to finish it off? Foster, great swings on this slide.